I was too on the front of my seat there. I want to get slouching and comfortable here if we're gonna get super into the hot topic here. Monday morning, hot topic. Let's get into it. Not only did Anthony Robinson win a big award, but the one and only Lionel Messi won the Presidential Medal of Honor, but he didn't show up. He was one of 18 recipients
Didn't
and he
vote.
chose to say thank you from afar. What do you think about that? Headline writers didn't like it across American media this morning. One of the fun ones was Messi appears to have scored an own goal without even being on the field.
Oh, okay. That's a little stretch of a metaphor. I like punny headlines when stuff like this happens, but I don't know. We got to come up with ones like, I guess if you got a headline for Lionel Messi not showing up to accept the Presidential Medal of Freedom, let us know in the chat. I would love to share them as I work my brain. I wonder how many people, period, have ever skipped this ceremony, right? It's not a ceremony.
There can't be many.
When you think about it, like if you win an Oscar, you show up, right? You go get your damn Oscar. If you
But the baller move is to already be like on set for your next awesome movie and accept the award from like, oh, I'm already doing my next thing. That's a baller move. So I
maybe
don't.
that's a baller move, but no production company is going to be like, yeah, just go ahead and stay here and work on your lines instead of going and accepting the Oscar, which is going to bring promotion and publicity to the movie that we're making right now that you can be a part of. Now, obviously, this is a little different. I don't think this is a televised event that everybody's watching. But it is certainly, you think about the level of recognition. I mean, you get knighted by the king. That's kind of what this is in an American context, right? We don't have kings. We don't do the sword deal. You don't have to kneel. It's not all of that. Nobody gets to call you sir, or nobody. You don't get to be called sir when you're done with it. But it is that, right? This is the same idea. We don't do the royal thing. We don't have that much history. So what we do instead is you get a Presidential Medal of Freedom. Who else got one? Magic Johnson got one. Who else is on the list this time around?
Oh man, there was about 18 of them. I think George Soros was in there. Hillary Clinton was in there. The aforementioned Magic Johnson was in there. There was 18 total, and he was the only one that didn't appear.
But we have one of the greatest basketball players of all time who was, I don't want to list off Magic Johnson's achievements because I'll miss some, and I don't know that everybody loves everything about. I think it's pretty uncontroversial, Magic Johnson. Obviously, there's the HIV diagnosis and all of those things. But he's
Bono, Ashton Carter,
Okay.
Hillary Clinton, Michael J. Fox,
Bono,
Jane Goodall,
Jane Goodall, famously,
Ralph Lauren.
Ralph Lauren. You
Yeah.
skipped out. Lionel Messi skipped out on going to a ceremony where he could have received this award next to Ralph Lauren. Wow, that's pretty. Denzel Washington got one. Denzel, look, if you have a chance to go do something and share that honor with Denzel Washington, you go. I'm sorry, I don't know what the scheduling conflict that Lionel Messi was referencing. I can't make it. Thank you for the honor. I have a scheduling conflict. Dodging taxes? Is that your scheduling conflict?
Yeah, he had a business meeting with his dad.
Is he attending a youth game in Miami? He's got to be in the stands to watch Thiago or Mateo or whoever plays in the youth system with Inter Miami. What could possibly be so important that you miss this ceremony, that you can't detour to D.C. for just a single day, just a couple of hours? What is so? I know he's an introvert, Rob. I know it's not. This is the thing. Like, he's an introvert who's been thrust into the spotlight. And every time I see a commercial with him, or by the way, there's a Lionel Messi experience that is posted up here in Puerto Rico, and I didn't really know about it until I saw a commercial the other day. And I'm like, do I want to take my kid to something that's probably going to cost me $50? And it's just a bunch of lights and stuff, and you kick a ball, and I don't know. I don't know. I mean, the man is a marketing machine, obviously, and I know he has responsibility, but this is different. Like, this is beyond.
I was looking for the reason. They just keep on citing scheduling issues, even though he was notified about this in December. So
December.
It was multiple weeks to adjust your schedule to receive an award from the United States president.
I mean, I honestly, I cannot fathom what this would be. I cannot. If you have a death in the family, a medical emergency, if you, I may be out. That may be the list. What else is on the list of things that are justifiably an excuse for missing this ceremony? You can't say like I got sick. It's cold and flu season, and I just took a bunch of NyQuil and I can't make it, Prez. I'm sorry.
I've definitely rearranged my schedule for less.
Okay, but you didn't receive the presidential medal.
That's what I'm saying. Like I've rearranged my schedule. Like 3 weeks out. I was gonna go grocery shopping that day, but
right.
It was a trip to Publix. But going back to the other recipients, Denzel Washington. You said that's a no doubter. Just to hang with him. I respect him greatly, and I love a lot of his movies. But I feel like he would like eviscerate me and say I was like an undisciplined person. It's like. He would just like those montages where like you see clips of him in interviews and he just like goes on some profound like self-belief sort of a mantra. I feel like he would just absolutely shred me if I.
He probably would, but then you could go hang out with Bill Nye, who also received the Presidential Medal of
Billiam Nye won.
Yeah, Bill Nye the science guy. Come on, who wouldn't want to hang out with Bill Nye the science guy? Ralph Lauren, Magic Johnson, Jane Goodall. You could talk about gorillas. Michael J. Fox. Michael J. Fox has Parkinson's, and he posted he was there. Michael J. Fox is a legitimate medical reason for maybe not going to the White House to get this award, and guess what he did? He went to the White House and he got this award.
Our aghast aside, what made Lionel Messi? What did Messi do to deserve this honor?
I don't know. Okay. I think the only soccer player I'm aware of that has received this award is Megan Rapinoe. You can check me on that. We did a little quick research before the show. I know for a fact Lionel Messi is the first male soccer player to ever receive or be granted or be told that he could get the. By the way, does he still get it? They send it to him in the mail. Is there like an overnight situation here? Like, is it a white glove service? What do you do with a Presidential Medal of Freedom when the guy doesn't show up?
I don't think that's one of the envelopes that I have at my post office, like the presidential award envelope.
Again, I come back to the Oscars. Like maybe Denzel was like, "I'm going to accept this award on behalf of Lionel Messi." He couldn't be here. He's on location filming a Bud Light commercial or whatever. Which beer does he push? Michelob Ultra. I think
that's the Ultra.
He's out filming a Michelob. He's on a beach somewhere, kicking cans around like they're soccer balls, and he couldn't be here to receive his Presidential Medal of Freedom. So I'm going to take it to him later. What the heck is that? And again, what did he do, Rob? What did he do? He's a UNICEF ambassador. He's obviously got, he's just like so many extremely wealthy people. He's got a foundation. I'm sure that foundation does a lot of good work. I'm going to come back to being cynical for a second.
Our natural resting place.
Lots of people's foundations don't do jack crap. What they do is create tax advantages for said extremely wealthy person. All right, maybe you can do both things. Maybe it doesn't have to be one or the other. It can be, I got some tax advantages from my foundation, and my foundation, feeds poor people or hungry people or people during famine, or we spread the joy of soccer around the world, or whatever it is. We help kids born with defects get surgeries. I don't know. You can do both things, I guess. You can do good in the world and get some tax benefits. But man, if that's what he got this for, that's sort of the bare minimum for somebody with the wealth of Lionel Messi. Am I wrong on that front?
No, you're not. You're not wrong. Sorry, I was getting a little distracted. I just got an alert that Fubo TV and the Walt Disney Company just put a merger in, so that might be a news story for the future. But as far as Lionel Messi, yeah, to your point, I'm sure his foundation may or may not do extravagant things. What might be behind this? Jorge Mas might be an excellent lobbyist. And he might have
really very, very true, because I've talked about this before on this show. Jorge Mas's thing is anti-communist politics outside of his business, which his dad started and which he's inherited, which he runs, and soccer, which I think largely, I mean, this is again my cynical take, Maybe Jorge Mas was a little boy kicking a ball around Miami, dreaming of the day there would be a soccer team in Miami. Kind of doubted. I think this is all a vehicle for the continued anti-communist, anti-Cuban regime politics of Jorge Mas. They're going to name the stadium Freedom Park. This is the Presidential Medal of Freedom. It all ties in very nicely for Jorge Mas to, to connect his guy, the guy who is the central figure of his soccer team, to the president, to the Medal of Freedom, to Freedom Park, to the idea of an anti-communist approach to everything. To everything.
But there is an old truth, though. Freedom isn't free, Jason.
No.
Sometimes it costs you $1.05, and Jorge Mas probably spent a great deal more than that to get him to this position. But we shall see.
Man, again, as a cynic, it's hard for me to get to a place of like, this devalues the Presidential Medal of Freedom, and that really bothers me. I'm not even sure, Rob, that I had thought too much about the Presidential Medal of Freedom, and I'm actually, demographically more inclined to be somebody who would than a lot of people, because my dad served in the military for 20 years, and my grandfather was in the Army for 30 years and served in a couple wars, right? Like, I'm sort of one of those people that would probably care more about this. Like, I'm the guy that for a long time, and maybe still, he gets extremely offended when people are talking and moving around during the national anthem at a sporting event, even if that's
we have a lot in common, and you tusk me, because that's when you get to the beer line, man.
Okay, well, I mean, if you're going to be in the beer line and the national anthem is playing, at least stop for a moment, put your hand over your heart, take your hat off, do the appropriate thing, I guess would be my attitude about your attitude about the beer line. Look, again, I mean, and I'm not always super precious about this stuff, as maybe I used to be as a younger person, but I don't love that we've taken what is supposed to be the highest civilian honor that this country bestows upon anybody, and we've turned it into something that, and it may be true for other people that received it this time around or last time around, that they aren't really super deserving of it. This is something that is based on the idea of politics or lobbying or whatever. And yeah, if David Beckham didn't get this award, how can Lionel Messi deserve it? That's what I need to know.
Let's get your hot takes in. Send in your comments. Who should have won the Presidential Medal of Honor before one Lionel Messi? Send them in. What's the phone number? The shout line? Send your suggestions in to 555-555, or just send them in to morningkickaround@gmail.com. Follow along at mkickaround on X, Instagram, and Blue Sky. And can't emphasize this enough, hit the subscribe button to Morning Kick Around on YouTube. Morning Kick Around, 2 words. Hit that button, and it'll help us a great deal to make this grow and become the eventual center of the American soccer conversation, Jason.
That's right. Do all those things Rob just said.